In my final year as a CFO, our board of directors brought in an outside executive coaching firm to work with every C-level leader in the company. Group calls once a month, individual calls once a month. Structured sessions, real frameworks, and professional templates. The coach assigned to me had no coaching certification. What he had was decades of successful business experience and a structured process his firm had spent years developing. And in one of our early sessions, he told me something I did not want to hear. He said nobody had time for my financial reporting package, the one I had spent years perfecting. We worked together on an executive 4-page brief, cover page, KPI summary, status updates. Clean, focused. The board could get what they needed in minutes, then go deeper if required. That outcome came from structure and from someone who had been in rooms like mine. No certification required. Hi, welcome to Retirepreneur, where professionals 55 plus turn decades of expertise into income without risking what they built. I'm Kurt Rose, CPA and former CFO, and I'm building this alongside you. So here's what we are covering. 3 things that explain why your corporate experience is already your coaching credential and what you actually need before you start charging for it. Let's go. Let me give you a number that surprises most people. The International Coaching Federation, the largest credentialing body in the world, has surpassed 40,000 active credential holders globally. That sounds like a lot until you look at the other number. The estimated global coaching population is over 4 million practicing coaches. That means credentialed coaches represent less than 1% of the people actually coaching clients right now. The coaching industry reached $5.34 billion globally in 2025 and continues growing at double digits. The vast majority of that revenue goes to coaches who built their practices on domain expertise, not certification hours. Now, here's the research that matters most for professionals at this stage. MIT Sloan analyzed 2.7 million founders and found that a 50-year-old founder is 1.8 times more likely than a 30-year-old founder to achieve upper tail growth. The reason is pattern recognition, the ability to see what is actually happening in a situation, not just what it looks like on the surface. That only comes from years of real experience with real consequences. Coaching clients are not paying for a certificate. They're paying for judgment, for the ability to see around corners they cannot see around jet. A 200-hour training program does not produce that. A 30-year career does. Now, if certification is not the primary credibility signal, what is? There are 3 layers that together create the authority that converts a conversation into a paying client. Most experienced professionals already have all 3. They just have not named them. The first layer is experience, your track record with quantifiable outcomes. That layer answers one question: have you done relevant work? The second layer is expertise, the specific domains where you solve the same problem repeatedly across different organizations and contexts. That layer answers, can you see what I cannot see? The third layer is proof. The direct reports you mentor who got promoted, the teams that exceeded targets under your guidance, the crisis that resolved because you were in the room. That layer answers the question that actually closes the deal. Will this work for me? Here's what most experienced professionals miss. If you spent the last 25 plus years leading teams, making difficult calls, and guiding people through challenges, you have already been coaching. You just were not calling it that. The question is not whether you are qualified. The question is whether you are ready to package what you already know into something that generates real income on your own terms. A quick question. Which of these describes where you are right now? Option 1, I have the experience, but I keep thinking I need a certification before I can start. Option 2, I know I could coach, but I have no idea how to structure it or what to charge. Option 3, I have already started exploring coaching, but I have not landed a paying client yet. Drop it in the comments. I read them all, and your answer helps someone else watching this figure out where they stand. Now, not needing a certification does not mean not needing preparation. Those are 2 different things entirely. Your experience is the starting credential. Structure is what makes it professional coaching. The coach you found was not valuable because of a credential. He was valuable because he had been in rooms like mine, and he had a defined process for moving from where I was to a different way of working. That structure is what separated the engagement from a hallway conversation with a mentor. The skill you need to actively develop, and this one trips up most experienced executives, is the discipline to guide rather than tell. After decades of being paid for your expertise, the instinct is to hand over the answer, but that is consulting. Coaching is the structured practice of asking the questions that help someone arrive at their own insight, because the answer they develop themselves is the one they actually implement. Think about a coaching engagement the way you would think about any business relationship. The client is not stepping out of their life to visit the coaching. They are living a continuous set of challenges, and your sessions are the structured checkpoints where you help them see clearly, commit to next steps, and build momentum between conversations. That continuity is what separates a professional practice from random advice giving. You can learn the frameworks and session structures that create that continuity. What you cannot manufacture is 30 years of pattern recognition. You already have that. The structure is the layer you add on top. So here's what I want you to take away. The coach who worked with me was not valuable because of a credential. He was valuable because he had been in rooms like mine, seen the mistakes I was making from the outside, and had a structured process for helping me see it without just telling me I was wrong. That is exactly what you have to offer. The professionals in your network navigating leadership transitions, career decisions, team challenges, and second act questions, they are not looking for someone with 200 training hours. They are looking for someone who has actually been there. You've been there for decades. Your experience is the credential that matters to the clients who need you most. The next video in this series, we tackle the question that stops most experienced professionals before they start. Exactly what do I coach and who is my client? I bring a CPA and CFO lens to everything we cover here, but your situation is unique. Take what's useful, run your own numbers, and work with a qualified professional on the decisions that matter most. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Retirepreneur for a new video every week. Subscribe below and get my free expertise and monetization blueprint at retirepreneur.com/subscribe. Keep building.